You are along for the ride with the Mad Dog and Cole, the Sancho Farrell.
Ay, ay, ay.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
Oh man, Evil Knievel, living in the sky, riding bikes, letting the sun shine. You know, dude, I'm just so grateful for his inspiration in my life when I was a kid. What a guy. Wasn't always a great guy, but was always an entertainer for sure.
American icon. No one can argue
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Uh, Man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 9 of Along for the Ride. We take a quick sec, thank our partners. We'll go into their products a little bit later, but for all your car, marine, boat, off-road, on-road, motorcycle, personal audio needs, kicker.com, Kicker Performance Audio. Get you living loud. Uh, Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com, man. These guys always take care of me. Their products are great. And as you know, I work the product. I don't just put it on for a podcast. Um, no, I wear these all the time, and I work the product. I work the crap out of this stuff, and they stay on. Um, they float. Cool thing, their foam actually, as you sweat, if you're wearing them when you're working, as you sweat, most sunglasses tend to fall off or slide down your face or get in your way. Um, because of the type of foam they use, they actually adhere better to your head when they get wet.
That's just the kind of ingenuity that they think of over there at Bomber Eyewear.
Yep, for sure. Bombereyewear.com. Hit them up. Man, Sand Sports Super Show 2022. Bro, one, one of my personal super highlights of the whole show was I got to see you live and in person 3 days in a row.
You know what? I love this show with all my heart. And it's so nice that I can, one, see you in person, and then two, being involved in one of your adventures we talk about on this show. Talk about a double whammy. And yeah, 3 days. I'm sure you got sick of me.
No, no,
Oh,
I wish you'd have been there the whole time, my brother.
well, maybe next year if you play your cards right, I'll be standing next to you. No, I won't be standing. Let's be real. I'll be riding the cooler or something. But
Yeah, it makes sense. I
whatever.
I endorse that. Um, yeah, no, man, what a great show. It was so awesome to see you. And you tried to sneak by me, but wearing that Mad Dog Media marketing shirt was like a dead giveaway. It's like actually one of my guys, it was so funny because this was Friday, right? Yeah,
This is
Friday.
Friday night. Yep.
Yeah. One of the guys from Kickers like, hey, do you know that guy? Because he saw your shirt, and I'm like, yeah, I know that
You
guy.
should have said no. Been like, I don't know, man. A lot of people got that gear.
Well, I didn't want to say that because he didn't have one.
Oh, okay. Hey, good
Sorry,
move.
sorry, Fletch.
Well, no, I saw
Dude,
you. I saw you having conversation. So I try to do the move where you see me, and I did a couple laps around the show car, but I wasn't gonna jump in the middle of it because I didn't know what was going on. So
I appreciate that. I
yeah,
appreciate that. I was, yeah, I can't even remember. I was in an in-depth conversation with someone, but I had a lot of those this weekend. Man, what a whirlwind! Holy cow! So Yeah, dude.
So you
Out.
were home, what, a day and a half from last time we spoke before you got to
Um.
headed to Orange County?
Oh no, I got home Friday and left Wednesday.
Oh, so you had more time than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now my most recent break was one day, a day and a half.
That's right. It's all blending together, even for me, who's not on the road with you.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm kind of just I don't know what the date is or anything. I just kind of I know I have to leave tomorrow. Uh yeah, in the morning, and we're on our way to the Redmond AMA Pro. Round two is Redmond, Oregon for the AMA Pro Endurocross races, um, which Kicker is one of the presenting sponsors of. So, um, and thank you for Kicker. But let's get to the meat of Super Show. Dude, I rolled in, I left Wednesday morning and rolled over. I timed it so that I could hopefully hit the 60 and 91. If you're not from Southern California, just Google it. Um, while there was minimal traffic, and I also had a time frame because Josh Fletcher, we call the Fletch or Fletch, from Kicker, was flying into Orange County Airport. So I had to get to the fairgrounds, drop my trailer, because I don't think airports are really big on plain white, large white enclosed box trailers being hauled through their um, pickup lanes.
Legally frowned upon, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know that there's any legality to that, but but it seemed
Why
like
push it? Yeah.
even for me, it seemed like a bad idea. And
That's saying something.
yeah, some of my best ideas are horrible ideas. So yeah, anyway, um, managed to get there, and uh, they had everything closed off. So I dumped the trailer in the parking lot. I couldn't even get in gate 10. I could get in at gate 8.
Oh
Um,
my gosh. Okay.
and I dumped the trailer in the back of the gate 10 parking lot, and because Josh got in at uh, like 10 o'clock. And so um, it was, yeah, I got there about a time was it? About 11:15, 11:30. Dumped the trailer, put a made a quickie homemade tag that said the booth number, and I had a kicker sticker that I stuck to the top of it, made it look all official, and taped it to the outside of the trailer so they wouldn't tow it, and put Orange County Airport, John Wayne Airport, into maps, and it said I was when I hit Arlington, it said I was 11 minutes away. And so I texted Josh and said, I'm 11 to 12 minutes away. He's like, perfect. And said what pole he was at there. And I made it in 7.
I was going to say 11 does sound like a lot, but to beat the
Yeah.
computer by half the time, that's not
Yeah.
slouching.
No, well, there wasn't really any traffic, and novel idea in Southern California. When you use your turn signals, people actually know you're changing lanes. And when you're in a big red, white, and blue truck, they tend to give you a little space.
That
So
55 to the 405, it's got a nice bank to it, so you can hold quite a bit of speed pulling in the
yeah,
airport.
yeah, I rolled that pretty well if I remember right. So I
New
got him picked
tires.
up, and yeah, no, the tires held up. They weren't even squealing. So, it was one of those though where you're like, Probably maybe a little hot in this, in a dually with no weight in the back, but I guess we'll find out, you know. It's it's goes all the way back to the old racing days, you know, in the road racing days. It's like one of two things is going to happen. It's going to work or it's not, right?
And it worked.
It worked. Um, we got back over there and actually it wasn't, you know, not really a horrible day. It was a travel day and so we didn't really set anything. Got the trailer over to the booth and we're waiting for the rest of the crew to come in with the semi, the kicker semi, which they call the XRV Extreme Recreational Vehicle, which is a 53-foot X NASCAR trailer that's been converted to a rolling display of current product, and the dance floor, if you will, for those that don't know, the part you walk up into in the very front is converted to a boom room, which is almost unexplainable. I would highly recommend, if you've never done it, YouTube it for one, but two, if you ever get the opportunity, it's a must see. It's a 6 ticket ride in there if they're working it. There is 12 15-inch kicker L7 subwoofers, the square ones. And there is 6 11-inch horn loaded, compression horn loaded marine horns to cover the mids and highs. Wow. And about, I believe, 48,000 watts total.
Correct. I remembered that from the pitch.
Yeah. So it's definitely, you did it, didn't you?
I did on the Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
It was cool. To make it overly simplified, if you're trying to picture it at home, it's just a wall of speakers. That's the easiest way, just a wall of speakers.
Yeah.
And you're in this tiny enclosed room. Call it a room. It's the front of a race semi, like you said. And though I wish I had something to compare it to for the people at home, but for our race family, it's just like standing next to an NHRA car that's idling, where everything's shaking, and you might think that your teeth are in good order, but you start to feel things rattle and your shoelaces come undone, and it's a good time. I mean, and you have to wear earplugs in there.
Yeah.
Which actually makes it more enjoyable because you're not blowing out your eardrums, but you get all the force of that kicker audio.
The full living loud sensation. It's a full body experience.
And it still sounds good even with earplugs in. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always a hit at events. I mean, dude, at the booth, we had lineups. As long as we were doing demos, we had lineups for people to check it out. And they usually run about 10 people through at a time. And it's about minute and a half, minute and 52 seconds or something, start to finish. So a lot of people went through the boom room this weekend. So Wednesday, anyways, the semi showed up. Actually, Fletch and I went and grabbed some lunch because he was on Oklahoma time, so by noon, and he's a power lifter, so he's not big on missing meals.
Yeah, he was ready for dinner at that point.
Yeah, he was ready, well, at least for lunch, So we hopped over right across the 55 to Dick Church's diner, which, you wonder, but dang, it was good. And, as soon as Josh said something about the one particular sandwich that I have a definite soft spot for, I was in. Didn't matter. We were going to go to a Mexican place because I texted you and said, "Hey, I need a restaurant to go for lunch," and you recommended
Mi
Mi
Casa.
Casa.
Yep.
Yeah, which we ended up going to actually, I believe Saturday night, and
Oh,
it was
good.
good.
Good,
It was
good.
good. Service was so, but the food, I've eaten there multiple times, and the food is always good. Um, so yeah, man, it was. Anyways, we went and grabbed some grub, and got myself a cup of coffee and a sweet tea, and pounded a couple of glasses of water, and then we went back and met the semi when they got there, and worked on getting them placed. Got my trailer placed in the booth, which we basically bookended it, because we had a dealer coming in that was going to retail. So he was able, once the back of my trailer was empty, he was able to use that to put his inventory in and also store all his booth stuff overnight.
Yeah, that
So
works out great.
yeah. So um, we got that done, and that was about it. By then, it was easily after 5, and so it was like definitely, definitely went and checked into the hotel. Went and got dinner with the team, and just called it a night. We knew we had a big day Thursday with setting everything up. And so it was like, you know, yeah, just called it a night. Thursday got in, and with 4 of us there, we hammered out the awning, just getting that set up. I think all of us had done it, at least once this year. Everybody knew what needed done. Uh, and Jeremy Wynn, the director of events, marketing, promotions over there at Kicker, one of my best friends. Um, the captain called it as we went and got us all lined out, and we got everything set up, got all the side by side staged out, and man, I feel like we had a pretty good presentation. So Thursday called it a day, got some dinner, and Friday, man, it's game on. You do all the final primp, and I was able to do a little walkabout pre-show, and it's I always love the sand show because there's so much of my off-road family from so many different venues. There's car builders, there's race car builders, there's engine builders, there's accessory makers, there's OEMs. um Man, it's just so cool to be able it's a challenge if you're trying to walk around during the show or even pre-show. You're trying not to bug anybody because they're trying to get set up and all that. But everybody, it seemed like, man, every like 20 feet, somebody's like, "Hey, Mad Dog," or "Lauren," So um, it was, it's so great to see everybody. I mean, that is always like the one of the juice moments of events that I do. Kind of like Doomfest.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that whole homecoming thing. So, yeah, man. And then, of course, Friday is, gates open at 4, and we go till 10 o'clock. Um,
After setting up all day.
yeah,
If you haven't worked it, you got to understand it's already been a day before the show starts. And then you got to
yeah,
go till 10.
yeah. Which, it's not that bad because, well, it wasn't bad for us because we got so much done Thursday
Yeah,
that
that's good.
we have relatively, we had stuff to set up, but like I said, we've all done it. We've set the PAs up and the sub cabinets and all that stuff. So it's more like I spent a couple hours Friday detailing the Razor, because it got just poured on in Springfield, and it dirt, and it still had some sand in it from Doomfest. So it's like 3 times a year super detail all the way down to the floorboards. um, and it was rad, dude. We had a absolutely beautifully done Maverick X3 Turbo that belongs to the Kicker Southwest rep firm and distributor Mervco, and it was built by Morgan Motorsports here in Havasu. Dude, that thing, um, even the colors. I mean, they
Nice and
went,
minty, that car.
yeah, they went with a mint and white, and it's really attractive, And they just did a really nice job. It's a beautiful car. It plays well. They powered it off of the whole head unit, quote unquote head unit, is actually one of the Kicker 10 speaker 300-watt power bars. And then they're lining out to a couple of 905 amps to run some four 6.5-inch marine speakers in the front, two of the 9-inch compression loaded horns, the wakeboard horns out the back, and two L7, again, the square L7 10 subwoofers under the front seats. So, which is a challenge because nobody makes a box for an L7. So, um, they did some craftiness, and man, the car plays well. It looks good. And then right beside that, we had Old Faithful, the old Kicker Razor that Pro Armor, myself, have done a lot of the build on. And I believe that car was done in like December of 17. Um, so, and it's still looking good. Uh, and then under the tent, we had the Kawasaki KRX 1000 Teryx that is just an over the top build, and got a couple of 12-inch subwoofers in a ported box taking up the whole bed, a couple of the marine compression horn nines poking out the back, uh, got an 8-inch L7 subwoofer in a custom box behind the passenger seat that, if you ride with your seat back, it's definitely a seat shaker. It's just awesome. And of course, some 6.5s, Marine 6.5s in the factory Kawasaki location. And that car looks tough. It's,
It's a stout car. Yeah.
yeah, the concept when I had it was, I wanted to build something that looked like a Mastiff, just not necessarily angry, but just tough,
And that's what
right?
you guys did. Yeah. That car was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I reached out to my buddies over at KMC, and Guidus. Is it Guidus? Anyways, Ryan G. I can't pronounce his last name. Got us hooked up with some fuel wheels, and we put the what are they? The 30, I think it's 32 fuel grabbers on it, 34s.
34. Big boy.
Yeah, after consulting with my buddy at KMC Engineering, or KMM Engineering, Kawasaki Motors in Nebraska, um, he's one of the head engineers on the project. And after consulting with him, he said, "Oh yeah, you run those, you'll be fine. The clutching, it'll take it, and it has extremely well. But the car just looks tough with those big flat tread, all terrains on it, and man, it just looks like a beast. And of
Yeah.
course, John Rawl, my buddy from KMC, who It's over there in Lake Forest or wherever they're actually. Is it Lake Forest?
Well, KMC is in Buena Park.
Buena Park. Really? The new office?
Oh, you're talking about Kawasaki? You're talking about
Yeah.
KMC?
No,
Oh,
not KMC
Kawasaki.
Wheels. I'm sorry, Kawasaki
You're
Motor
good.
Corp.
It's late for the listeners at home.
Yes.
But yeah, no,
Sorry.
it's I can almost see it out my window here. They're in Foothill Ranch now.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
a new building out there, relatively new, I guess.
Yeah, I still call it new. It's within 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. So John does a lot of branding and has been with Kawasaki for close to, I think, probably pushing 35 years now. Um, he handles a lot of the off-road, the jet ski, bike stuff. Um, and he had not been able to see that car in person because when we got the car and did the build, the blip happened, and so that car Kicker started the Unmasked live show, and that car sat in the studio as a back prop in the live studio for their live TV show for a year.
Oh,
Um,
cool. That's cool.
yeah, because they didn't travel, you know.
Yeah. It's cool. It's not cool that it didn't travel, but it was cool that it
No,
still got out in the sun.
yeah, I got plenty of eyes upon it, you know. Um, so, and that was the first time John was able to see it. Was Friday early in the day there, and he did my heart good. He definitely gave it his seal of approval, and so that made me feel really good. Um, and then yeah, you know, Friday was just game on, play some music, live loud, talk to people, um, man, just have a good time. And we did we were fortunate enough to be invited to the Kawasaki hospitality event for media and friends, if you will, I
That's
guess.
cool.
I don't think they call them. I don't think they call us partners really, but you know, and so that was really cool. And they happen to have some of the main corporate heads from Japan there,
Wow.
and so it was really an honor to be able to speak to those guys very minimally, um, you know, and be around. Got to see Jim Beaver there, you know, and Brittany. Visited with them. Saw Kane from Kane's Appetite for Adventure. Kane's uh, well-known off-road journalist. Yeah, man, just super cool. Oh, and we went. What was that? Oh, it was Friday at lunch. We went up to the ASA,
Oh,
the
okay. Yep.
Cuskinator. I saw him Thursday, um, and then we were actually. I say we, I mean Kicker. Um, so as I say we, that's what I mean because we were 100,000% Team Kicker this weekend, um, and so we're supporting one of their upcoming builds, which I think was supposed to be a secret.
It's out now.
But it's out to like at least my wife and family and your wife that listen to the podcast, right? So, um, anyway, yeah, we took some product over for that build, and we ended up over at the ASA Hospitality, and they were kind enough to feed us, and I got to see Casey Aircadero,
Hey, shout
another
out.
one of my great friends in the industry, and his wife Jess, um, who is, you know, we're going to have her on the show. Um, she runs Backwoods Promo, started Backwoods Promo, which is event staffing and primarily in the motorsports industry. Why full width of the motorsports, snow, jet ski. Jet ski is a brand. Snow, water sports, um, power sports, side by sides, motorcycles, Harleys, which aren't necessarily motorcycles. No, I didn't say that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But it's
No,
a
but
fast family, those two.
yeah, yeah, and a talented family. And she just won a woman's. When we get her on the show, we'll get the details. But I believe it was the Women's Business Alliance award.
That's cool. We'll have to pick her brain about that.
Yeah, yeah. So get to see them, and I tease them. I said, because we've been trying to hook up for dinner or lunch or something for a month. And I said, it's pretty bad. We both had to drive 5 hours to see each other.
That's
Um,
how it goes.
when they're literally 4.8 miles from me.
But
But
who's counting?
that's this event in Carney life,
Yeah. No, I mean Sancho is just such it's a blessing, and I don't want to say there's anything bad about it, but it's like it's so crazy how many industry people are all in one place, and to get to talk to everybody is amazing, but trying to do it while everybody's also busy, it's just like there almost needs to be a secret fourth day where there's like, I don't know, it sounds like a picnic or something, where everybody can just
Right.
pack up and
Yeah.
chill and just, hi, how are you? How was your weekend?
Maybe we need to look at doing something like that next year, like on Thursday evening or something, just have all everybody get together in the back parking lot.
Call it
And
the industry roundup or something.
yeah, and just not let Sancho know.
No, yeah. What they don't know won't hurt them.
Right, exactly. Just do it. So yeah, man, it's crazy, you a lot of these people I only get to see once a year, many of them I'm blessed to see multiple times a year, but a lot of them like Cody Hooper, you know,
Yep. Yep.
um another unbelievably gifted off-road journalist, owns his own company and does a lot of brand representation and stuff like that. And I it's been a year since I've seen him, and for me on the other side, a lot of the people, I have so many friends in the industry. People come to the booth just to visit me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that just makes my heart feel so good, um, and we have a prime location there. Um, it's just fun. It's like a big giant homecoming. Everybody, there's, everybody's bringing out their newest build. Did you see George's or Funko's uh, big twin turbo car?
Okay, here's where I gotta preface this. Funko makes such incredible stuff, and it's so eye-catching that yes, I saw it. Could I tell you which one it was? No, because they're all just it's just like they're just all art, right? And it's funny you
Yes.
say that because somebody sent me a picture of that car on Saturday and they said, "Did you see this last night?" And I said, "Yeah, but I mean, you look at the it looks like a damn car dealership of these $500,000 Funkos, like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
For
they're all
sure.
special, but because there's so many special right there, it's not like I saw the one special car."
Right. Yeah. No, it was man, just a beautiful build. Like you said, every piece is like its own piece of jewelry, you know? And so you had sand cars, literally half a million, $750,000 sand cars there, down to just, side by sides built out to Bert's Mega Mall, packed the promenade with everything from built out cars to bone stockers that they were selling. The wing right behind is it right behind the promenade? Yeah, right behind the promenade Ride Now had packed. They had
Mm-hmm.
30. I talked to them for a little bit. They had 30 something new units they brought. And it's
What?
not just to display, they're selling,
Yeah, yeah, they all have tags on them, and what a
Yep.
process to get all those cars out there.
Yeah, yeah, literally. Even Wednesday, there was already car haulers with like 12 side by sides on them showing up two at a time.
Yeah, and if they'd fit more on there, they would. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was squeezed tight, man. Tight, toit, toit.
Tweet.
Um, yeah, and so you just and everybody's got their newest products out. Um, I saw Assault launched a wheel, which good for them. Um, I fortunately got to see Marcelo, and we actually had some time to talk, and it's always nice when you have just a few minutes because you never get to see these people, or you
No.
seldomly get time, like you said. You're working, and it's important to me to try and take time, even if it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes, to just catch up with people and see. So many of these people are like family, and their family, and what's going on, and just check in with them and see how they're doing and how things are going. um, it's really such a rad experience, and there's so much cool stuff going on all day long. You can hear my voice is giving up. I have no idea how many people I talk to, but thousands, I'm sure.
Yeah,
um,
that's
and we're playing music the whole time, so you're talking over a certain volume level of music. um, yeah, it's usually, by Sunday morning, my voice was pretty rough. Um, but thanks to Halls, thank you, TPQ Tim Shellman, for teaching me that little trick. They get your voice back a little bit every time you work on a Halls. So, it's yeah, it's just so rad. For people who haven't been there, it's I don't even know how it. Imagine going to like a state fair, but everything is just super cool off-road stuff.
dude, beautiful way to put it. Because those who aren't there and haven't seen it, it's literally my Orange County Fairgrounds. That's where our big fair is
Yep.
every year, and the whole thing is filled. I think there's what obviously the livestock section isn't used, and they don't use what they call the action sports arena, which is where the speedway is.
Right.
Everything else is cars and trucks and jeeps and parts and shirts and semi trucks and activities and displays. I mean, it's the whole fairground.
Wagons and whips and lighted whips, sorry. Um, got to see my buddy Russell the Love Muscle, buggy
Physically saw him,
whips.
didn't get to talk to him, but once again, I
Yeah.
wasn't I wasn't going to stop business.
Right, right. Yeah. See, I just go up and say, "Hey, what's up?" Because if somebody's busy with somebody, we'll do the slap it, pound it, and then I'll move on and let them finish up. But at least I got to see them, and if they have the opportunity, they'll come find me. They know where to find me if I'm not wandering the show, um, for an hour.
Yeah,
Uh, then I'm at the booth, and that's where I live. That's what I belong to, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So Fox had that proving grounds thing set up
mm-hmm.
in the back parking lot. So I got to hear a lot of cool stuff and see a lot of smoke. I didn't get to see any of it.
Well, I
Excuse me.
got to see
Sorry.
it for the both of us on Friday night. So,
Nice.
um, yeah, it was cool. It was like if a big kid had a driveway, because it was a couple water barriers, a giant wood ramp in the middle, and then like some railroad ties were your whoops. So it's literally like if a child had adult sized parking lot to work with. Yeah, and it was
Nice.
cool, man. So it was the Terror Crew guys were out there with their pre runners. Blake Wilkie came out, and he was in his unlimited car, not his new trophy bug, but his classic unlimited car, and it was just so fun to watch those guys roast $900 tires for a few seconds, and saw one guy hit the water barrier. That was pretty exciting, but
Oops.
he Linexed the whole side of the truck, so he knew how he drove. So he knew what he was doing. The fiberglass
Yeah.
was fine.
What's
But
that
yeah.
memes? What's that Instagram video, the reel? He understood the assignment.
Yeah, he was prepared for battle. But yeah, it was cool that they had that. I would publicly like to claim that I would hope and pray that someday the stadium super trucks get to come back to that piece of property, because I mean the show is already 150% badass, and then when you
Yeah.
have racing there, I mean that just over the top. Like honestly, I don't even care what it would cost. Like I would pay the extra to go watch that racing again.
Yeah, I would love to see the SST trucks come back. You know, I got to watch them a little bit. Um, I can't remember what year was that? 14,
It had to be
13, 14?
14 to 16, somewhere around there, because I was working
Yeah.
the show and it was the opposite side, and I couldn't
Yeah.
couldn't see it.
I think it was 14 when they had the track out back and they had the side by side race.
Yep. Okay.
No, it might have been 13 because I was with Muzzies then and we brought the 900
Got it. Okay. Oh, there you go. See the
and
association.
and Van Beekum won it in the 900. Yeah, I remember that now. So, and for those of you, Sand Sports Super Show Costa Mesa has been going on how long, Cole?
Since I was a kid, I mean, so it's either
Like
late 90s
10
or
years.
super early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because I was going literally as a kid, and
Wow.
it was so funny. I wish, and I hope my dad has pictures somewhere from the disposable cameras, but like now it's what it is, right? The industry is mostly UTVs and quads and things like that.
Right.
Back then it was all sand rails, and then you had a couple bikes and a couple ATCs, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the same show, but it's just progress. What's it going to be in another 20 years? I don't know, but like it's so funny to see what it used to be. It was always a big deal, but now it's just yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. And I think I want to say my first one was 2012 with Rob Muzzy and Murray. And I don't think I've missed one that they have had. Excuse me, that they have had since. So I think I've done every one. And to the point where the guy that directs everybody, I can't remember his name right now, but that parks everybody, rides the scooter with the checkered flags on it,
Uh-huh.
orange vest, white beard, super rad dude. Always looks after me, remembers me every year. This year I walked up and he's like, "Hey," he goes, "Man, I yelled at you last week. I yelled at you Sunday." I'm like, "What? Why were you yelling at me?" He goes, "I saw you on the ferry. I was going to the casino."
No
I'm
way.
like,
How
"No
funny.
way." I said, "Next time." So I made sure he had my number,
Oh, cool. Okay.
and was like, "Hey, next time, give me a call. I'll come down and buy you a beer."
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
awesome, man. Yeah,
But
there you go. And there's more off-road family.
yeah, that's exactly it. And the guy looks just always looks after us so well. Always helping us out wherever he can. And Yeah, and he's funny, you know. I always feel bad for him having to park all those people that don't listen, and
Yeah, and
you
there's
know,
vendors that are in 1 year and won't be back the next, like
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
entitled people or whatever. So yeah, I would say he takes care of the people who take care of him. I don't, or the people who respect what's going on, I should
yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah. Like, you know, if he comes over and says, "Hey, um, can you turn the music down a little bit?" We will,
Yeah,
you
you're not
know.
going to fight him.
No, it's like, yeah, sure, sorry, you know, we're trying to be good neighbors, but you know, we have 48,000 watts of music
Doesn't go
available
quiet,
that
bro.
goes to 11, you know, so why would we not be at 11, right? So um no, I just love the sand show, you know. It's always just so active. Like it's go, go, go. Saturday, man, it was like 9 a.m. and we're kind of back towards the back half of the event. So by like 9:15, 9:20, it's game on, you know. And we went till 7 this year and it was game on all freaking day.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I mean it's like they almost need a giant metaphorical broom to push all the drunk people out at the end of the night because like
yeah, yeah.
people are so excited that the season's about to start and they're ready to spend money and they've had an
Yep.
adult beverage or two, so it's like, oh, 7 o'clock, like who cares? They're ready to keep partying and they want to have fun at the kicker booth and whatever, but you're
For
like,
sure.
dude, I've been doing this for 3 days and I have another day to go. Like, see you tomorrow.
But yeah, and then you know, we are the where we're set up is right back to back and across the road from uh Speed Energy and the new Speed UTV. As you fondly refer to it, the unicorn. Um, but things are happening there, you know, and Kicker is OEM audio. I think we covered that in the Doomfest
Yep,
episode.
we did. Yep.
Um, you know, and so it was good to see the guys that were up there at Doomfest. It was you know, shout out to Mike and oh boy, lost it that quick, dude. Just gone. Connor, sorry, Mike and Connor, Speed UTV came up and spent the week with me at Doomfest. They were there, and it was great to see those guys. And you know, I got to visit with Todd Romano a little bit, and so that was pretty cool. And you know, I had made introductions around um, about 3 years ago, and here we are now. You know, the OEM provider for that car, and it was exciting to see production cars there, cars with VIN numbers and carb labels, and so it looks like it's happening. I mean, you know, there's been a lot of naysayers, a lot of haters. Um, really, the cars I saw looked to be pretty good. The ones with fins looked to be really good. The welds look good. The audio sounded great on the blue one, um, and I freaking love that blue color. And the pink and purplish one was super attractive too. I thought that was just like rad. Um, but you know, those guys are great marketers on top of everything else, and they had one of a completely assembled unit sans cage sitting upside down in their booth, just so people could, you know, just so people could pick it apart. Um, so it was fun to see those guys and be able to talk to them some. The sand show, man, you know, I went over, managed to get over to the ASA, American Sand Association hospitality a couple times. They do such an amazing job there. And shout out, you know, if you're not a American Sand Sports Association member and you're an off-roader, please $25. Become a member. Um, they are fighting a lot of battles to keep, especially our sandy riding areas open, whether it's Oregon, Northern California. I guess that's northern. I call it northern. Pismo, um, Glamis. Um, they fought the battle to get that whole area. It popped up in a memory not too long ago when we were able to get several thousand more acres reopened.
Oh my gosh, what a day
And,
that was. That was
yeah, yeah. American Sand Association fought that battle for us. So I mean, get on there, become a member. I don't know what their website is. I'm sure my producer
I
has
believe it's
that somewhere.
AmericanSandAssociation.org.
Okay, thank you, man. You are on it. So
I'm just full of useless knowledge. That's what it is.
yeah, Cliff Clavin right there. So yeah, no, man, sand sports. It's just such. I can't even explain it. I'm always excited to go. It's like Doomfest. There's just so much family there. It's like, man, it's so good to see you. Every 20 feet you're running into somebody and it's yeah, it's just rad. I mean, I'm able to walk I call him the boss, Jeremy. um you know, Able to walk him around, and like Chuck from Pro Eagle, help them out. They're building this badass Bronco for SEMA. And it's got a monster lift and 38.5-inch swampers.
Those are pretty
And
good size.
yeah, and to be able to move it, they're going to have to do tire swap. Um, so I got a hold of Chuck from Pro Eagle, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in," and sent them everything they needed, to be able to effectively and safely lift the Bronco up quickly, effectively, and safely. And it's guys like that, in the industry. It's so cool to be able to see all these people, and I even ran into Crazy Watson.
Oh my! I was with him half of Friday night.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and for those at home, he's crazy. He's not stupid. So that's what
Yes.
he would like you at home to know. But yeah,
Yes. And he likes corn dogs.
I had him test all the corn dogs.
Possibly the world's most exclusive corn doggy.
That's the secret part of his life, you know.
Yeah.
But he's very passionate about it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, man, Sand Show's just so cool. I mean, it's like I just feel so blessed that it is that close to my house. It's 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
So like Friday was the first day, and I couldn't hardly focus on my actual job because it was like, all right, how much longer, how much longer, how much longer? And it was like the
It's like
second I was off
Christmas,
work,
right?
dude, I took the dog out and I was like, all right, go to the bathroom. And then I jumped in the Ranger, and dude, I was, oh, like no BS. It's just so fun. Like seeing all the products, seeing you, seeing my industry friends, and it's being
Yeah.
that close to my house. Like, yeah, I went all 3 days, and I was there most of each day, and I still didn't get to see everything.
Right.
Three
Yeah.
days, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really walk any of the halls. I made the outer loop maybe twice. Um and I made it through the rugged hall, part of the rugged hall.
Yeah, they
Excuse
had
me.
a mass. They always do every year, but they have a
Yeah.
massive, like you said, a hallway. It's just like
Yeah.
half theirs.
Yeah, it's crazy because they're set up in one side, and then Rhiannon and the PCI crews in the other
On the other
side.
side of the wall, it's perfect.
Yeah, and you like gotta go say hi to both, and I'm actually gonna see Rhiannon and David, thank you,
Yep.
this weekend in Redmond because he's riding the full AMA Pro Endurocross circuit this year.
Yeah, shoot. I went over to PCI and I was asking somebody, I was like, hey, where's David? And they're like, what do you mean he's riding this weekend? I'm like, oh, stupid me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in Salt Lake.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, and she actually sneaked out, I think, like Friday night and probably drove to Salt Lake to be there. So that was cool. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You really can't explain it, you know. I think one of the cool parts for me is those of you who don't know, I'm pretty well known for my selfies. And Saturday, I believe I took 28 selfies um, on top of all my other pictures. So, but one of the cool parts for me is that part, you know, you actually get to see everybody, and it's not like you're fake happy to see them.
No,
Like
not at all. No, it's, yeah.
pretty much, as you know, there's not much fake about me. So if I don't like you, you're gonna know it.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, yeah, and that whatever it is, good or not good, that's the way it is. Unfortunately, or fortunately, who knows?
Not faking
But
it. No.
yeah, exactly. And but yeah, man, Super Show is just crazy, and for me, it's extra awesome because I get to be, you know, I get to do an event where the XRV is there and where the kicker people are there, and I love doing events with Jeremy Wynn from Kicker. He's just a great guy, and we rarely get to do an event together um, because one, he's got a whole department to run, but two, he drives the semi. He's the primary for the semi, and so you know they're at events all over the place when I'm at other events. So
Right, right.
it's seldom anymore that I actually get to do an event with him, especially this year. With Kicker Country Stampede not happening, um, you know, which is a bummer, and I'm bummed that you know that has come to an end because that was always a good time, and it was great to hang out with the entire Kicker family. But you know, it's good to be with some of them. You know, I always look forward to that. It's so much fun, and it feels weird to like be setting events up with people, with other people. You know,
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and we get to usually eat pretty good food.
that always helps the morale.
Yeah, we went what was that? Was that Thursday? We went down to Newport Beach, and there's uh it was a bar, I guess, but they have pretty good food. Right next to, I think it's Newport Beach Hotel, right on the corner. You would probably know it. I don't
And
remember,
now I'm like super curious where you went.
but it was awesome, dude. We're like literally, you know, sitting there at this table, this high top for 20 people, and there's all of us, Murphco crew, you know, and our kicker crew and the whole bit, and we're literally there eating fresh fish and chips, fresh caught cod, and watching the sunset over the beach. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
in one
come
of the
on,
richest cities in the world.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I know it was $3.10 to park my truck for an hour.
That's not bad.
No, well, we showed up right at 5. Well, we showed up at like 4:58, and the little sign said they don't charge after 6. So I waited till 5 to buy my ticket. Um, so I only had to pay for an hour. See, kidneys, man, kidneys. I
Yep.
got the smarts. I got kidneys between my ears. Um, but yeah, dude, that was a good time. You get to see the beach and put your feet in the sand, and you know, and then Saturday it's just like you're literally burning race fuel all day, right? You're on afterburner mode all day. It's just, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that so much. And then Sunday, you're up and at it, hammer down, things soften up about 3, 4 o'clock. They say everybody leave. And by 4:30, they're swept. And then you start pack up, and we were out with the 4 of us. We were out doing pack up. We were out just before 6.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. And then we went and found some pizza place and bar at a golf course somewhere close there in Costa Mesa.
Yeah. No.
And they have really good food. I was like, oh, that's rad.
There's something
But
special about that Sunday night dinner when it's all over.
yes,
Like
yeah.
you're
It's
like a
really
little
cool.
sunburnt, a little tired, but everything's
Yeah,
packed up for the most part. You're like, all right.
yeah. Well, and they had to make they being Jeremy and Josh, who, not Fletch, but the other Josh, who is a co-driver on long trips of the XRV, um, had to, they were heading back for Oklahoma Monday, and he wanted to make Albuquerque yesterday. So he was wanting to be on the road by 5. And I'm like, okay. And we used the old grinder, old Captain America we use for the crew transport. So um, we rolled out of the hotel parking lot at 4:30 in the morning, and got into the grounds, and he got the semi aired up and his pre-check done, and I got trailer hooked, and we rolled out of the fairgrounds at 5:01 a.m. and I followed him um, all the way up to the 15 turnoff, and he rolled out heading his direction, and I stayed and ran the 60 to the 10 and picked up a 20-mile-an-hour headwind and a mile and a half to the gallon. All the way to Rice Road. So that was cool, and it was just such an active weekend. And yeah, I'm sure I could have made it home in 4 hours if there were normal speed limits, but there wasn't. So it took me, with a couple of stops, took me 4 hours and 58
That's
minutes.
still flying. Don't sell that short. You're still going quite
That's
quick.
making time.
There we go. There's the legal way to put it. Making time.
Yeah. So with the towing speed limits, you got to watch it. You definitely have to keep it under 69.
Yeah.
Um,
664 is usually the magic number here.
yeah, or unless it's Monday mornings, then it's closer to 69, plus or minus for error. Yeah. So man, just rolled home and was good to go. Got some stuff looked after, and I still have yet to pack. So as soon as we sign off, I've got to go pack and then get a bite to eat, and be rolling northbound bound for Endurocross tomorrow morning.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. Well, it's like, when do you leave again? Well,
Yeah,
tomorrow
tomorrow
morning.
6 a.m. Is the plan. Pretty stoked because Striking Vikings going to travel with me
That's going to be
for
cool,
this
man. Just to
one.
have a
So
co-dog is just, yeah.
yeah, especially going up the 95, because things get boring. it's really interesting if the aliens are out, but if they're not, there's
And
really
it's
not that
boring.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's just desert at that point. So, um, and when you've driven it an average of 8 times a year for 10 years,
You're
it
pretty over it. Yeah.
yeah, I never get over it. I actually enjoy it, but it's just boring. It's like, okay, I know what's next. I know what's next. Wait, there's a new dirt hill over there. They must
Whoa.
be building a new tunnel from Area 51 to Walker Lake, or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, or out to the coast. Yeah, no. So, but sand sports, what do you got for sand sports? Hit me up.
Man, just I I have such a romantic view of this show because, like I said, I went to it as a kid. Got to go to it every year with my dad and my brother, and then I had to work the show. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like that was a black mark on the calendar every year when we had to work the show because we did wheels and tires,
Right.
and we did hundreds of sets of wheels and tires. So that meant between UTV Invasion and the show, I had to mount, seal, load, take inventory, price everything, unloading, same thing. I mean, it was 2, 3 days. We tried to get in early when we could. We would start loading in Wednesday, and it was just a production. And I'm not saying I could do it any better if I was in charge, but I mean, we had like tents and lighting systems. We didn't have a semi with a canopy. It was like everything was, we'll call it like home built or scratch. We had, easy
Right.
ups everywhere and had to set up our registration and a phone line to run credit cards. And I'm having all these nightmares as I say this out loud, but did that for enough years and, did enough years of haggling with people and not having the products they wanted and not the prices they wanted and loading all the tires we didn't sew back up. And so now that all that's over, and I'm a spectator again, it's like, dude, it's like I love it even more than when I was a kid because like I can roll up when I want and I can, enjoy a beverage here and there and then like just fully fanboy, talk to everybody. I rolled with the Caverts, Connor and Claire. They were my
Yep.
homies most of the weekend, and then on Sunday my good friends Ron and Janet. So I kind of had a nice variety over the weekend, but I mean, like I had like a shopping list that I went with, and I had a budget and everything. So I mean, I just totally fanboyed out. Um,
Nice. You
and
you you left out Sir Jackie.
Sir Jackie, yep, he was there, yep.
Sir
But
Jackie Farrell.
that's about the whole
Yeah.
part of that story. No,
He may listen to this at some point.
I
So
think he's a listener. I think he's one
it
of
was
five. Yeah,
it
no,
was good to see him. Looked like he dropped some weight. He's looking good.
yeah, that's his fighting weight. That's what he normally looks like.
Ah,
So
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
but
Fantastic.
yeah,
No wonder
no,
you
it
can
was
kick his ass, no problem.
yeah. When I was 7, he was 9. I could take him down, but. But
Anyways,
yeah, no,
same
I
shit.
mean it was just so cool, dude. I mean it was and like I don't say this in a conceited way, but like I almost feel bad sometimes with the people that I'm with because just like you say, you go 20 feet and it's like stop, okay,
Yep.
yeah, like stop, talk to these people, stop. So yeah, I almost need to like go Friday by myself and do all my hugs and handshakes, and unless we do our industry rodeo, but
Yeah, right.
no, it
I
was
like
just so
it.
cool and just full
Industry
fanboy.
rodeo.
And like every company I talk to, like I just try to go with respect and like knowing how brutal the show can be to work. I try to be, appreciative of everybody's time and no, it was so cool. I went with a plan and just executed it and like here we are at September 20th and I can't wait for the next year. Like
Yeah, yeah, I'm already jacked about it too, man, for sure. And working on ideas like what can we improve? What can we do cooler? Um, how are we going to top it next year? So yeah, definitely rad, dude. It's such and yeah. So what's your top three? Top three things, moments, cars, whatever. Top
okay,
three.
so
Hot seat.
so my third place would be seeing Watson because I didn't know he was going to be there, and he traveled from Northern California to be there, and not only was he there spectating, he was actually helping the ASA barbecue for
Yes.
the industry. So like, I probably sounded so stupid, but I couldn't tell you how many times I was like, dude, I can't believe you're here. And he's like, okay, ha ha ha. I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't think you would be here, and you're right in front of me, you know?
Right.
So that was number three. Number two would be talking actually to, they're not a partner yet, but KC Highlights, because I came there with like hundreds of questions and they couldn't have been nicer. And they're like, walked me through the process, and they're like, we know this stuff's expensive, like we want you to know what you're getting into. And like I can't say good enough praises about that.
Nice.
And then my number one thing sounds stupid, but just seeing everybody. I mean, like, there's nowhere else in the world you're going to go where like you see that many people from that many walks of life in my life. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
people. Number one's people.
Nice. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude. It was I think it was a great show. Everybody I talked to, vendors, displayers, whatever, all had great things to say about the show this year, and the size of the crowd. Man, we had Uncensored Motorsports, Chris and Amy, set up to do retail, to kind of handle the retail for us in the booth. And it's those guys are just they're just great people, you know. I always enjoy hanging out with them, and they did really well. They're always super they're always a super good image for the company, you know, for Kicker, and very supportive of the brand. And he had his car there, which was really beautiful razor build,
Yeah.
and loud and proud and clear. So that was cool. Yeah, man, it's just like so many cool things. I I really one of my top five probably would be um, seeing some actual production speed UTVs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not drinking the
not just
Kool-Aid.
internet. Yeah.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, but you know, I've seen the pre-production, and I've seen it actually drive in the sand and function. Um, but you know, to see, like, we've all been seeing the pre-productions for what, a year?
I think it's been more than that.
Has it?
Yeah.
Could have been.
Time goes fast. But
I
yeah.
don't. Yeah, you know, same colors, et cetera, and seeing some in different colors and stuff. I thought that was really cool. Had to be one of my top fives for sure. Um, and then, like you said, just hanging out with the people, you know, seeing everybody. Yeah, just such a good show. And you know, I can't wait for next year, man. Hopefully, I don't have to wait a year to see you in person again, though.
Absolutely not. No, I got plans. We'll talk about it
Good.
later, but I got plans.
That sounds good. I think this is probably a good place to cap Sand Sports Super Show, fondly known as Sancho.
Sancho.
Yeah. So, what else you got? Anything?
Oh man, just going. I shouldn't say going desert racing, but I'm going desert racing on Sunday. So I'm
Nice.
taking. I know I said it in my personal episode. If I can help you out any way I can, I will. And I'm living up to that. I'm taking somebody who's never been desert racing before and is passionate about it, and I'm going to take them Sunday. I'm going to drive 3 hours to Plaster City, and I'm going to fully pit for them and set up and show them how to sound check and get their AMA stuff, and we're going racing. So I'm stoked.
Dude, that's awesome. You know, it's so um it, it's going to be good to talk to you in the next after this, post this, to see how you feel, because I can tell you, as that guy it's like really it really gets you. It
Yeah.
definitely, especially being able to be back involved, and have your hands on equipment and all that. I totally am so stoked for you, and thank you for getting someone involved. I mean, it's let's go racing,
Yeah. Like, if you listen to that Wes Kane episode, I mean, he pulled at the heartstrings, but it's like,
Oh
dude,
man.
it's like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, of course, I'm getting something out of going back to the races because I enjoy it. But it's like, dude, like I will spend my fuel money. I will take my whole weekend, like, to make sure that somebody has the best experience they can on their first race. Like any
Yeah,
race, of course, but their first race for sure.
for sure. That's awesome, dude.
So that's all I got.
That's awesome. Well, I think we should sign off. We want to be sure and thank our partners, Kicker Performance Audio, kicker.com. If you need car, boat, I'm not going to say marine because boat and marine is the same thing. Off road, on road, motorcycle, personal audio, noise canceling Bluetooth headphones. They got them. Kicker.com. Anything you need to live loud because they are living loud. That sounded like a real commercial. Bomber eyewear, bomber floating eyewear, bomber.com. Man, Tommy and the gang always support me. They build a great product. I'm not going to tell you they're indestructible. But I am going to tell you I've beat on multiple pairs. And I've broken a couple of pairs. One pair was unfortunately broken playing with my granddaughter when my first granddaughter when she was very young. But that pair, when it did get broken, I've been wearing for 3 years. So it's not indestructible, but they're pretty damn durable.
They'll be there when you need it.
Yeah, and they float. You can get them in prescription. You get blue light. You can get them in safety lens. You can get them polarized. You can get them in some super sweet mirrored colors. Yeah, so check them out. BomberEyewear.com. And of course, I already said it, Kicker.com. We are, thank you. And to all you 12 that are listening, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the download. Give us a like, subscribe. You are along for the ride, and we are glad to have you along. That's it. Peace out. Mad Dog out.